let's do a video. So, if there's one thing that Dead Professor is known for, it is for being a normal YouTube channel. And we've made a lot of normal YouTube videos in the past. We've made an unboxing video. We've made a mayonnaise video. But we have yet to make a ranking video. So today, I am going to be ranking all of the wall art in this specific hallway of my grandparents' basement. My Grammy and Papa were kind enough to let me use this basement tonight while people are doing things upstairs. Wow, it's really dark. They also sent me pictures of this before we left to come here so I could prepare beforehand, so that was very nice of them. As you can see, my grandparents are collectors of only the finest art, so it's hard to rank perfection, but we're gonna try. Quick programming note, I have no idea. Most of this is drawings, and I have no idea who made any of it. I cannot, unfortunately, give proper credit where credit is due, but it's just cool. It's art. It's art. Okay, ranking time. Oh, we're about to rank some pictures. We're about to rank some pictures. Number 42. This one probably ranks lowest for me because it's a good photo, but it's a fairly standard camels crossing the desert photo. When camels cross the desert at sunset and somebody takes a photo of it, it almost always looks something like this. Number 41, kind of similar to the photo of the camels. This is not a photo, this is a painting, but I've seen something that looks like it when it comes to animals in a savanna a lot. Fairly standard savanna silhouette painting. Number 40. I honestly have no idea what to make of that one. The lighting in this kind of tucked away corner leaves something to be desired, so I apologize in advance, but this is number 39. It's a really nice drawing. The problem is it reminds me too much of It's a Small World, my probably least favorite Disneyland ride. Number 38, this is the only part of the wall that has pictures, actual pictures of my grandparents and also a lot of other people. However, it probably would have ranked higher, but nobody in any of these photos consented to appearing in this video, so all of their faces are blurred out. Number 37, one of many pictures of streets on this wall. It's good and I like it, but it doesn't quite do it for me the way that the others do it for me. 36. This one is fairly peaceful, which is, I like it. I tend to prefer pictures where there's kind of lots of action happening though, so that's why this one gets a lower ranking. 35. Seems like these kids are just having a pretty good time. 34. I like it. It's a good drawing of a statue. It looks like he's fighting an octopus. I think that's what I'm seeing. I think he's fighting an octopus. So good for him. 33. I admire the photographer's ability to get close to a camel, because if there's anything that the mummy has taught me, it's that camels do spit at you. 32. So what I will say about Miss Saigon is that the music is very powerful. I would not say it's as powerful as Schoenberg and Bublé's other musical that they did. It's impressive and really well done, but we also can't really ignore the somewhat problematic nature of the narrative and also the kind of problematic staging history that it also has. So overall, I would give Miss Saigon the musical 3.5 out of 5 stars. 31. Reading aloud is, I think, one of the greatest of all shared human experiences. 30. It's a pretty nice drawing of a vineyard. I just wouldn't rank it as high as the other drawing of a vineyard that's on this wall. 29. So you know that thing in movies where the title sequence has like drawings of scenery and stuff that happens later in the movie, and then it ends with a drawing of a street, and then all of the ink bleeds, and then it turns into the real actual version of the street, like the live action version. I feel like this is like one of those paintings that's going to turn into a real street in a movie. 28. So I have yet to experience a jukebox musical that I feel like got everything right, but I think that Mamma Mia comes about as close as you can get to that. And also, it's a lot of fun, and I love ABBA. So overall, I give Mamma Mia 4 stars out of 5. 27. I've never been to New England, but this is just what all of it looks like in my head. 26. I've never been to England, but this is what all of it looks like in my head. 25. This is definitely not a college campus, but it feels like a college campus. 24. Now, if I remember correctly, I think a production of Beauty and the Beast was the first ever play where I got a leading role. I was Lumiere. But anyway, this musical has probably my very favorite opening number, Belle, and also one of my very favorite villain songs, Gaston. So I have to give it 4 stars out of 5. 23. So this is the other vineyard, and I love the way it looks. And I love the way it looks so much that I'm just gonna keep it up here. I'm not gonna bring it down to my face. I'm just gonna revel in that for a few seconds. 22. Like they say in Germany, you can't go wrong with a little Liechtenstein. That's the thing that they say in Germany. Hi guys, I would like to just interrupt this video for a brief moment to address some things in the previous joke. So in the previous joke, I said Liechtenstein, when in reality, that is not Castle Liechtenstein depicted there. That is Castle Neuschwanstein. I feel like an absolute fool, like a total buffoon, and I would like to just issue my sincerest apologies to everybody, everywhere, all over the planet Earth. Okay, now you can return to the video. Hey guys, I'm back again. Oh god, oh geez, it's pronounced Neuschwanstein, it's not Neuschwanstein. I feel like a fucking idiot. Please forgive me. I hope you can find it in your hearts to forgive me in these most grievous errors I have made. I'm so sorry, everybody. I don't know where I went wrong. Anyway, enjoy the video. 21. Now, The Lion King is a musical that you really have to see on stage in order to experience it fully. I really was blown away by the staging. I loved how they staged specifically the stampede, and if I remember correctly, when all of the water runs dry, the lionesses do a thing with their masks where streamers that represent tears fall out of the eye parts, and that was really cool to watch. So I guess bottom line is there are some musicals that exist where you can kind of listen to the soundtrack album and get a pretty good idea of what it's going to look like in your head. And The Lion King is not one of those musicals. 4 out of 5 stars. 20. I'm a big fan of the composition of this picture. It's nice. 19. Is that the Matterhorn? That might be the Matterhorn, but I don't know if it's the Matterhorn. 18. So Cats is the only musical on this wall that I haven't seen. So unfortunately, I cannot give it a rating. However, I have heard the song Memory, and that alone gets 4.5 out of 5 stars. 17. This is a pretty cool picture. I like the dots. As a side note, how do boomerangs work? My grandparents got me a boomerang. It might have been on the same trip that they got this picture. I don't know for sure, but they brought me back a boomerang from one of their like Kiwanis trips or whatever. And I could never figure out how to make it work. I kept throwing it and it never came back. So is it something in the wrist? Is it something in the way you're supposed to throw it? Is there something in the composition of the boomerang that's supposed to send it back? I don't know. So if you know how boomerangs work, please email me at the email that I am going to put in the video right now. Please, I need to know. I need to know the answer. How do boomerangs work? 16. This one's just a lot of fun. I like it a lot. It's the one that in this whole hallway probably grabs your attention the most as you're walking down it. It's just a nice picture. 15. I'd like to go to Venice someday. I feel like that particular review reads like the punchline of a Heathcliff comic. 14. If there's one thing I love, it's marketplaces. 13. We're gonna be seeing a lot less of those in real life, but at least they live on in photographs. 12. The Phantom of the Opera is the first musical I ever loved. My family saw the touring production of it twice at the Des Moines Civic Center. It's such an exhilarating experience. The plot is absolutely flimsy, but who cares? Who gives a crap? It's a great musical. 4.5 out of 5 stars. 11. So good. If it weren't for the fact that this is very obviously a modern carriage with modern people in it, I feel like this would be a drawing like right out of a fantasy novel. 10. I feel like these guys know how to party. 9. I'm a big fan of urban sprawl kind of skyline overlook things. A lot of people don't like it, but I like looking at it. Plus, you got a neat looking cathedral over here. I don't know what town this is. I think if I'm looking at the description correctly, it's St. John's, Newfoundland, but 8. This one's just good to look at. 7. This one's probably the moodiest piece we have here. It's good. I like it a lot. A bit separate from a lot of the other stuff here. And I like things that stand out. 6. Look at this place. It's so nice. I want to live here. I don't know where that is, but I'd love to live there. 5. That's what musical theater was made for, friends. 5 stars. 4. This is really cool looking architecture. I just look at this. It's you got the towers, you got the skyscrapers in the background, you got the tiger and the dragon. It's really nice. It's really nice. I like looking at it. I'm a big fan of cool and kind of out there architecture, and any building that involves a dragon and a tiger, A+ in my book. 3. This is a really nice drawing of my grandmother. Or at least I'm like 90% sure it's my grandmother. It's maybe also either my aunt or my mom, but I'm like 80 to 90%, 70% sure, 75% sure this is my grandmother. 2. I have really fond memories of this drawing. I used to just stand here and just look at this thing, and before I really even understood what musicals or musical posters were, I would recognize like, this Les Miserables, that's the same as this here, and I would kind of like play a matching game of like, ooh, where can I find all of these on the art? Times Square, the real life place, really stresses me out, but this is still a really, really nice picture to look at. And finally, we come to number 1, the opus, the pinnacle of all of the fine art that you have seen here today. This one. And it's number 1 because there's a dog in it, and none of these other ones have dogs, so do better, drawers. Make more dogs. Also photographers. All right, and that concludes the ranking of all of the wall art in that specific hallway in my Grammy and Papa's basement. I hope that you had an experience. Good night. Okay, honorable mention, because this is my favorite piece of wall art in the entirety of my grandparents' property, because we're in now my grandpa's office. And this would have been number 1 if it weren't for the fact that it is in a completely different building. But see, that's art. That's what art is.